Remember when common sense was common? When standing up for what is right was the right thing to do? Welcome to the right side. Common sense conversations about Hawaii's political landscape and how it affects you, your ohana, and your community. Join us for the next hour as we cut through the political noise and look at Hawaii from the right side, where public officials and community leaders discuss the policies that affect our future, strategies that move the needle, and highlight leaders that are stepping up to make a difference. Get ready for the right side. A common sense conversation.
This is, guys, you know why, Malia, you know why it's nice? We're going to light today.
Right.
We do something different. You know, last couple of weeks we've been talking about homelessness. We're talking about, child trafficking, abuse and all that stuff. So we're going to light. But then these guys play a very important role in society now that we have, social media. And they're I'm big fans. I almost have to say, before we get started, but first, Hanu.
Hey.
So we're going to talk social media today, and then and like I said, I'm big fans of these guys. Social media has a positive impact, including building community, connecting people to movements, and raising awareness about important cultural, political, and social issues. Social media influencers in Hawaii have done a great service in many ways, and they have helped solve crimes, alerted us to impending disasters, traffic accidents, and shine a light on serious issues. So we have two guests who I've been friends with for a long time, and big fan. I'm a big fan of these guys. So, Malia, would you like to introduce our guests?
Sure. Elijah Kalā McShane, known as Son of Oahu, is a passionate ambassador of Aloha, weaving Hawaiian spirituality, culture, and consciousness into his work as a facilitator, speaker, and ceremonialist. Through his platform, Awakened Aloha, he shares the way of Aloha grounded in the principles of connection to land, Aloha ʻāina, spirit of Aloha Akua, and people, Aloha Kanaka, with a global audience. His content and events uplift community healing, cultural agency, spiritual transformation across Hawaii and beyond. And Mark Talai is the Director of Communications for the Senate Minority under Senator Brenton Owa. We'll have to have him one day on the show.
Yeah.
He's a realtor and also known as Mr. Mean, founder and owner of Mean Hawaii on Instagram with over 400,000 followers. And we've had Mark on the show before, so happy to have him back.
Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to the show.
You.
All right, 808-913-6450 is the number to call, 808-913-6450. Before we move forward, Malia, who's our guest next week? Sometimes we get so involved in the show that we forget to tell everybody who's coming up.
You tricking me, huh?
Yeah.
Because you usually put that at the end of the show.
Yeah,
Can I get back to you on that one?
Okay. Malia will get back to us. Hold on.
You're not booked yet.
Yes, that's right. All right, guys, if you guys want to talk to Elijah or Mark, 808-913-6450. Also, this will be put up on YouTube, so you don't have to get all like, oh, I'm missing. No, it'll be there forever. Forever. All right, guys, how does social media shape Hawaii? Who wants to start first?
I'll start with this guy right
Okay. By the way, I've seen Elijah transform. I remember I reached out to you a couple, which is good. I mean, that's what we all should do. We should move with the times. Yeah. So I'll give you that platform. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, peace, love, and aloha to everybody tuning in, and to you, Brother Augie, and for the whole team. For everybody being here. It's an amazing time in human society. And to answer this question, how this really space and platform of social media shapes Hawaii, I think it's so important today. We live in a time where information age, everybody is getting access to information like never before. I heard this old quote once that all people that have lived in each of the parts, even in Africa, who haven't had any access to electricity and to just information over the past 2,000 plus years, has the same access to information as the most influential people in the world now. And so this is a great time for us to hone in on things happening in the current events and the landscape of Hawaii. And I believe these platforms can play a massive role, but it is a double-edged sword, you know, and as every tool, like a knife, it can be used to peel you an orange, or it can be used to slit a throat. And so, you know, the consciousness that goes into social media, I think is important, because freedom of speech is also important.
Yes.
But to have consciousness with ethics on these platforms, I think is paramount.
I like that. Conscious with ethics.
That's why I said go first.
Yeah, no,
That
Mark.
is wonderful.
So, but the last time you were here, you weren't part of Senator Awa's team. You know, so what have you learned now that you in that side of with life, and you also still doing your misdemeanor? How is that helping you or not helping you?
So me being on the inside now, I see how it works. I didn't know what a politician was or what politics was. I was never interested in that. I never knew what it was. And but because of my social media platform, Senator Brenton Awa reached out to me and offered me this position. And it was kind of intimidating, because he said, I need somebody for this position. It's the Director of Communications for the Senate Minority. And I was like, I never go to school for that. He goes, basically you just do this. I goes, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but being on the inside now, I see how it works with bills and how laws become laws, and just how it goes through the process of becoming a law. It has a lot of people don't know this. Like, there's a House side and there's a Senate side. So if somebody presents a bill, like, hey, I got an idea, they draft it into this bill, and it goes through the readings. It has to pass 3 readings on the House side and the Senate side. If it makes it through the 3 readings on each side, it crisscross applesauce on the other side, and it goes through the same process. And then there's other stuff that happen, but it's just like small kind of tweaks and stuff. And then when it passes all 6 readings, it goes to the governor, and it's up to him to either veto it or okay it. But if he doesn't sign it within a certain amount of time, it just passes.
Right.
I would learn so much stuff just by being in my position.
So you think that, with this platform, the social media platform, is it reaching the people who need to understand? Because that's one of the things, Malia is my Director of Communication on the city side, and we do our best in making sure that we are always transparent, always telling the truth, right? You feel like it's connecting?
Yes, it is. Not at the rate I would want it to, but it takes work. I mean, I think the first video I put out just to let the people know about the actual website where you can check on bills and stuff, it reached over 1 million views.
Wow.
And then, because I got the actual, whatever, the reading.
The insight.
From the guys at the Capitol. I was like, can you show me the analytics from this time to this time? And when I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this thing reached like over 1 million views, and that was just one video. So I was like, but because in my position, I need to not just put out what I feel. I gotta make sure it's okay.
It's balanced, right?
Yes. I would never want to ruffle anybody's feathers. I like to stay in the middle and
keep unbiased.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I look at their view too. Like, everybody get their difference of opinion, but we all gotta live together. We all gotta coexist, and let's come together and reason.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's good. See, I think that's why it's important that we have this conversation, because a lot of times, we see what we see and we just think, this is it. This is it set. It's never ever set in stone. Nothing is ever set in stone. It's and what I like about it is that you have different opinions. And the best thing that you can do is always be transparent. As long as you're transparent, you're good.
100%.
You're good. So let me ask you, who are your followers, and what kind of movement have you feel like you've created?
Awareness.
Okay.
As far as how important voting is, I thought that was. I never thought of voting. My vote not going to count.
Has it confused people because they see you, maybe doing a food segment, and then you at one shop, and then you going, hey, by the way, Bill 37,
just slide them in,
right,
while I'm eating. Hey, by the way, you guys never know. But it just, I don't know, it just blends well together, because it's, I don't know, I'm not trying to force. I'm not trying to force anything down anybody's throat, but it just the transition, the introduction, like, oh, by the way, since I'm eating, eggs, you guys knew that the egg law is
yeah. True that, Hawaii. True that.
egg law.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. All right, we'll get to Elijah, but I think we're on break. 808-913-6450. That's 808-913-6450. We're talking social media today with Mr. Mean and Elijah. It's Mornings with... Oh, let's say Mornings with Augie, Chaz.
Mornings with Augie.
It's the right side of common sense conversation.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to common sense conversations.
808-913-6450. Elijah McShane is with us as well. Mr. Mean. Okay, we have Crime Stoppers, right?
Next week. Augie, he's always testing my memory. He's like, he does it like on the spot, right?
No, Crime Stoppers is awesome because we want to give information out there for people, who, like help. We all
got to fight crime, boss.
Yes,
All
public servants.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they have a new head of Crime Stoppers, so we'll meet him.
So perfect.
Yep.
Nice.
We meet them next week. But today we're talking social media. So Elijah, who are your followers and what kind of movement have you created?
Yes, I am super thankful. Just to speak a little bit about what he just said earlier, Mr. Mean, about how it's kind of interesting on his platform where he wears many hats, expressing many messages. But the powerful thing that I feel we're seeing in the world today, which I think everybody needs, is everybody's getting equipped to be involved in everything and not just one specialty. You have to be kind of like, I would say a little bit of like, the old saying, it's not good to be like specialty in all kind of different trades, to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. But actually, I think it's better to have understanding of everything instead of only understanding one. Yeah, and so it's pretty positive. And who my followers now, we've really built a global audience. It's been awesome. TikTok, Instagram, we do about 8 million accounts a month. It's been super good. I see TikTok as being more of the international platform. So we're like reaching people from about 80 different countries on TikTok alone. But then Instagram is very Hawaii centric. And so if we look at Instagram in that way, it's really more geared towards the community that we're interacting with, especially when we're talking about Hawaii social media, which Hawaii social media is hot right now. I think it's always been hot, but now that like a lot of people are getting involved in bigger issues, especially when like stuff kicked off on the Mauna and stuff kicked off on Kalā Aloha, Instagram was the main hub of really pushing out information. And so I think it's so beautiful. On Instagram alone, who are my followers? A majority of the followers is not only the people that are here in Hawaii who are Kanaka, but a lot of the people that are in tune with the content that I put out is also people that have any affiliation to Hawaii, any affiliation, and have had a yearning to just learn more in a way that is not intimidating and aggressive, as we can see in Hawaii social media. But this is also a part of our karma as Hawaiians. A lot of our people have an undertone of a warrior, really being super fierce, even in how we communicate and deliver messaging, which as a communicator, I learned that is one of the most ineffective ways to communicate, because like people are not going to want to listen to you, be influenced through you and through who you are, if they're not only intimidated by you, but if you're just presenting yourself in a way that is hard to connect. So I try to do my best to connect in how I communicate, and the stuff that I do, really touching on issues that majority of people don't touch on, and we touch on it in a way that brings the pono.
You're not just throwing stuff and hope it sticks. You're being very detailed.
Very intentional.
Yeah.
But non-script, everybody think I script in my stuff, but Kanakas like us, we don't need script, Hawaii.
No more.
Come on, a script, Hawaii, right from the pu'uvai, right from the nao.
And has that caused a lot of controversy sometimes?
Yes, the beautiful thing about the controversy, they I freaking heard that any publicity is good publicity.
Sure.
So all good, but I also know where the human consciousness is at. I've done a lot of spiritual work, and I've been on the spiritual journey, just understanding like human behavior, and like human thinking and philosophy and human development. And I know that you only speak on and project that which is within you already. And so when people project hatred, envy, or whatever that kind of stuff is, I can see it in the lens of that's where people are at. And so if they're not able to engage with me in person, then I always take the stance of, if you don't know who I am and you're fixed on an opinion, then that's all it is. It's most often an uneducated, misinformed opinion.
Right.
So I pay it no mind.
So how do you go? Because this is important for people who, maybe get bullied on social media. How do you go to disconnect, knowing that just a lot of these guys are just some keyboard warriors?
Yeah.
With fake names.
Yes,
fake names.
So
Yeah.
how do you
Like trollers.
Yes, what do you do?
Keep your aloha strong. Like, I see them just like that. Is keep your aloha strong and like see it as human development. Everything is training. Everything is training. And so if you're going to go through something that is hardship, that is bringing conflict, use it as an opportunity to train.
And when I talk about your evolution, you once was motivational speaker,
Yes.
right? You follow biblical practices, so
Yes.
you understand humility, you understand the call of a Christian, right?
Aye.
Right? So, I can see when you say that, dude, it's just years and years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
People always ask me the same thing too. I go, 30 years of being on stage. You gotta have some sort of tough skin.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm human too, and when
Yeah.
people attack,
Yeah.
doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
But it also feels like, what is God teaching me? What am I learning right now that maybe, I left open, a little bit open,
Yes,
so that I
right.
can get fixed.
Yeah.
Learn how to be a better person.
Patience, kindness,
Yes,
compassion,
exactly.
aloha, all those things.
And it's good to have that kickback, because I feel it keeps us kupono. It helps us to like stand upright, hold ourselves accountable, and to check what's the things inside our inner workings that needs to be evolved in. Or
So you sleep good at night.
very good. I get good dreams, and again, on beautiful
Hawaiian.
wahine, on beautiful ohana.
Yeah.
So, come on.
At the end of the day, that's all, man. You can sleep. You can put your head on the pillow and go, I'm good. I'm good.
And very interesting on how people, put so much energy into
Sure.
doing this stuff. I feel like, my brothers, you guys either, maybe I just look, just maybe go to the club with me, or, go eat at Asagio's. I don't know about Asagio's now, because
Ooh, I
Chinese
love
owned.
Asagio.
But I'm not the
It's
same
good.
anymore. Like a Chinese restaurant. Anyway.
They still like their cheese ravioli.
Oh gosh, you get me hungry over here, Mr. Mean. Have you ever been to Asagio? Did you review Asagio?
Yeah, Milani. I don't know if they changed it.
No, because I used to love Asagio so much, because there was like real authentic Italian.
yeah.
But maybe like 5 months ago, I went to Asagio's and was like one Chinese restaurant. Because the
weird.
ownership changed.
Yeah.
I didn't know
I don't
that.
know.
I still go to the one in Kailua. That's still good. I don't know if that's the same owner or not.
Maybe just independent
yeah.
franchise.
The last
Could
two
be.
times I did that was Hawaii Kai.
Oh, yeah.
With
That
Governor
one
Lingo.
closed already.
Yeah,
I think.
so good.
A while back.
That's all
Closed
good.
a while back.
Yes.
Let's see. What do you want to teach your social media followers? I know you talked about the education part, but when when the first time I saw Mark was doing the eruption and the shooting, you remember on the Big Island?
Yeah.
I was working for the mayor on the Big Island at that time, and I was like, wow, dude, this guy's news, his feed is
And
reaching
news.
us before
The
the
news.
news.
Yeah, before the news.
And the amount. So answer that question. What do you want to teach your social media followers? Are you trying to intentionally teach people?
Without even like aiming to teach anybody. Honestly, if I can say one thing, I would love for everybody to actually live aloha and love each other. Because on my platform, I've seen it all: the good, the bad, and the super ugly.
Right.
It's very ugly out there, and there's a lot of fabrication, on how people live and stuff. But there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that goes on that I know about, like for example with suicide and stuff. I
Right.
don't put that out there, but I know of
No,
some
it's
people.
good. No, that's good that you brought that up, because that's another thing that caught my attention. You and I had a conversation. As soon as we did Instagram Live. Remember, we just talked about suicide. Talked about suicide and how it affected us. As men who are family members or friends that took their life because of challenges. And the first time I realized, man, this is an amazing platform, because that's the kind of topics that no one ever talked about. And now more and more people are talking about it, and I think there's ways of reaching a lot of people. So I think in that kind of aspect, it helps, right, in teaching.
I hope so.
Elijah?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that everybody is seeing these platforms on social media as their main educational resource today, right? And so as being a guy that helps to build kind of influencer platforms for business owners and stuff, we like look at all the archetypes of what an influencer can be. Hawaii, majority of our influencers are comedians because we're funny people. Yeah, and the biggest platforms on social media in the world, they're all comedians, right? But there is the archetype of the educator. It has the archetype of the explorer. There are amazing Instagrams that just goes around the world and sees amazing places, and they capture, and they got 2-3 million followers. And so I see myself as just a messenger of whatever Akua needs me to share. But in building the brand, I really focus on spirit, culture, consciousness.
You have a niche. Your niche.
That is Hawaii-centric.
Yeah.
And it's because I never seen nobody doing it when I started this page, because I had a previous page before in bodybuilding and different stuff I was doing. But on this page, I was looking like, what is the main thing we need in Hawaii right now? And I didn't see no space where a Kanaka was present talking about these issues in an educated manner, because a majority of the ones that were communicating it, they weren't reaching anybody because they weren't connecting.
Right.
How about let's try to connect and see what happens.
Being consistent.
Oh, consistency, bro. Yeah. The first, I always tell everybody, if you really want the kind, to hit them good on social media, okay, make one post every single day for 1 year, and then we talk story. Because that's the discipline needed to actually build a platform, discipline.
Consistency will win for me. I shared that at the Purple Heart ceremony, with Sergeant Takumi. If he wasn't consistent and came to the office time and time again, emailed, we wouldn't have been recognized as a Purple Heart city. Sometimes it takes consistency, and it's the same thing with social media. You have to be consistent. And I told this story because when I walked into the gym when I was boxing as a young man in Kalā Valley, my coach used to put up motivational quotes all over the gym wall. And this is housing kids. And one of them was, consistency will win for me.
Yes, 100%.
Muhammad Ali.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Also, conditioning will win for me. All these little things. And I think it works that way in social media. It's like I'm saying, I saw you evolve. I'm watching you evolve, and it's a beautiful thing when we can do positive works in the community that can educate the public, right, and bring awareness. Agreed. You have a question, Malia?
Oh, okay.
You was looking at me as like, I thought you.
No, I'm just entranced with this conversation. I guess are some of your maybe memorable moments or most memorable moments on this social media journey where you felt you really connected with someone, or you brought up an important issue, or there was a lot of interest in something you brought out?
Samin?
I cannot really choose one.
Many, yeah?
Yeah, I think overall, because of this platform that God blessed me with, and that I've just tilled the ground, helping them grow, is the connection. Like, because of my platform, I connected with Augie, you, and him. And radio station personalities, the news, city councilmen, senators. This is the hub because of this. Because of what I have, I'm connected to everybody. So that would be the overall biggest thing.
It's high value.
Yeah, I look at it now, it's like, bro, I connected to all these business owners and all these politicians, and our common ground is we love to laugh and eat, and bro, you guys wear all kind of hats, but when you break it down, we're just people.
Yeah.
Well, I think the common ground, too, is that you care about Hawaii, right? And you want it to be better.
All right, keep your thought there. We're going to come back with Elijah. We have a break, 808-913-6450. If you want to call, ask a question, we are here for you. It's the right side, a common sense conversation.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to Common Sense Conversation.
808-913-6450 is The Right Side, a common sense conversation. I'm Augie, that's Malia. Today's guest, we're talking social media, Aloha McShane and Mr. Mean Hawaii. Okay, so we're talking about memorable moments on your social media platform, Elijah.
Yes, a lot of things that have happened that were so positive in social media. One of the best things that I really enjoy is when there is time to pass bills, and it's important bills. Like, one of the main things that really had pushed a lot of what I was doing in social media into the political realm was to help our midwives and to help the bills with home birthing. I'm a big advocate of home birthing, and to have a space for the mothers and our children to live a life that is good, and to have our children to come out into the earth in the way we really wanted, and not under the bright lights in the hospital, or just having the freedom of choice to do so in the practices of culture as well. And so in doing that, I really began to see how impactful a platform could be in advocacy of a cause that is very important for all humanity. And to position it in that way, it's like, hey, if you're a fan of home birthing or not, I knew how to position the information in a way that people could receive, could relate to, and say, you know what, even though I'm not going to be having a home birth, this has to do with the authority and autonomy of our women and our children choosing how they want to come into this world, and they should not be stopped by the government in any which way to do it. And I really seen positive change there, even though the bill didn't pass, because so much loops stuff happens. What really happened was our community came together, and when we put out a kahea, to put autographs on petitions, within like 8 hours, we had like 4,000 autographs on a petition when previous only had like 100, and that's because of the video. Right. And so you can literally make positive change, advocacy work, and create movement if you do it correctly, as we've been seeing by good influencers.
No, I appreciate that. We had a long conversation about empty home tax. Remember? It was a great conversation, and I really appreciate the fact that you wanted to educate the public on the empty home tax stuff. Yes. So that's how you use the platform, right? Yeah. And educating people, and that's what we try to do. We just in our department, we meet weekly, and just like, okay, what can we educate the public with this week? Because I think it's important. I think a lot of people don't know the difference between city and state. And that's why I appreciate Mr. Savio giving us this opportunity. Yeah, we're talking social media, but a lot of times people don't realize that, a lot of our funding and how we fund the things that we have is through property taxes.
Yeah, true.
We supposed to be taking care of core services, police, fire, water. But a lot of people don't know. Well, what you do about the elementary school? I wish I could, but that's the state side.
The state side.
So we're doing all these facts and cues and question and answers so that we can educate the public using our platform, because I feel transparency is super, super important. So in the battle of social media versus traditional news, what are the advantages of your viewers not having to wait for the news? Who wants to take down?
Quick.
Quick.
Super quick. Yeah, we tend, because if you look at it, there's cameras all over the place, yeah? Mm-hmm. Get more people than cameras. So you get plenty of people with cameras. Instead of the fixed cameras, like traffic cameras and stuff. The public is actually... they're the eyes. So as soon as they see them, bam, they're just looking for an outlet. I got to tell somebody.
Yeah.
So now it's like Instagram. Oh,
Mr. Me.
I was like, it's just happened over here. Accident over here. And when I first started doing all this, I used to post stuff that I thought was funny. But then when I started growing, people started sending me stuff like that, breaking news. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just post them. And then I never know I was doing one service because I was just fixed
when you help somebody find their dog, you was like,
yeah. Oh, that was cool. This thing is cool, so I just keep posting stuff. But the public They're the one who make it happen.
And I remember my friend losing his dog.
It's so sad.
No, I know.
It's the worst.
So I go, hey, Mark, you can help me out.
Oh.
So we put out, and then everybody started calling him. And then he went around the house and he realized his dog was underneath the house hiding.
Oh my.
Yeah. It was an expensive dog.
I bet
It's like,
about
Hogs, I found the dog. It's like, oh, tell your friend I said thank you.
And sometimes that happens because of fireworks
Sure.
or whatever,
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
Animals get scared.
yeah.
Elijah, like take that.
Yeah, you know, I think that, you know, I think that people look to influencers today for their news because we're relatable to them. And because our consistency on these platforms, you know, there's this saying in business, right? If people learn to know you, like you, trust you, they will buy from you. And that is in any which way, a physical product or even their attention to listen and to be influenced by you. And so I think that when we're consistent on these platforms, we've helped, and people can see how authentic we are as humans behind the camera and being like kind of storytellers and really doing good contributions to our community. People can start listening to us. And so if you put something out, like me, I have a total different platform than Mr. Mean. You know, he's on the current events and the news, pop. I really take stuff that to unpack it and to go deeper inside. Yeah. So I'm not the update guy, but I reshare the updates on my story, you know, if need be. But when we're tackling an issue, I feel that people are not informed all the time, that we can create something that is not just a news segment that maybe have a bias to swing one way. We can give an objective standpoint and leave it open-ended, but still move people towards the direction of pono. You know, so yeah.
That's good stuff, man. So how can social media be key in solving maybe crimes or preparing followers for disaster? I mean, we saw it, right? Last week.
The tsunami,
you know, and in the past.
I went through like 15 of those in my life, you know. So I was like, everybody was like, hey, bro, I talking to my wife, she go, babe, like, what's the plan, you know? We got stuck traffic. Go, baby.
Calm down.
This is probably number 20 since I grew up, baby. And 20 out of 20 never hit. Yeah. The closest one was maybe Hurricane Lane, you know. Hurricane Lane was on Hammer, but still never hit us. Yes. But I feel bad for my cousins in Kauai, you know, and Hilo. I feel bad for my cousins over there because they're getting basa, but in Oahu,
we've been pretty lucky.
We go drink some ava.
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky, but like it did. I mean, you could see the good in it. You know, last week last week. And the bad.
How unprepared a majority of people are for something like this.
And how bad the traffic is. And how, there's got to be a better plan.
Yeah, there's got to be a better plan.
I'm like you because I grew up here and I grew up in Kailua. And we used to go up to the top of the Pali Highway and there was like a big party, you know. And then we saw that this time because the H3 people just pulled over, right?
808-913-6450. When we come back, we're going to wrap up our conversation. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're talking social media today and how it impacts our lives. It's the right side of Common Sense Conversation. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon.
Hola.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to Common Sense Conversations.
808-913-6450. Oh, what a great conversation today, Malia.
Augie, it was so fun. I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. From Elijah and Mr. Mean.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd love to go see Mark and our friend Larry, who used to work with us down at the Capitol.
Yeah.
They're
good stuff.
They're working over there and learning a lot, teaching us a lot.
Kicking ass.
Yep.
That's what it's all
Good
about.
fun.
All right, so we have a couple of minutes. You guys, final thoughts. Anybody get some final thoughts?
I do one real quick one because I like hear what he got to say. I take the rest of the time.
No act.
Right, just my message is clear, bro. Just choose love. That's it. Choose love.
Are you a hippie now?
Maybe.
Hey, the hippies can teach us a lot.
He's a Samoan hippie. I just want you guys to just love.
Just juice and love. I love you. Yeah.
I love Elijah.
Yeah, but you know that is the absolute truth. You know, as a Hawaiian who really grew up in a family, for the most part, who are Christian, and as the highest population of the Hawaiian kingdom in the world of people who are Christian, people who are literate, like, the truth of the matter is that even though we're growing in an age where a majority of people are kind of becoming unchurched, a lot of the people in this generation, they're leaving the church for whatever reason that is, but oftentimes they don't have another option of spiritual practice. So they maybe choose to go to yoga or doing different options, right? But the principle of the teachings of the Messiah, the principle is aloha, is pono. That is the principle when you look at everything. And this is why I feel, and I tell my Kanakas all the time who are anti-Jesus, I'm okay with people being anti-Christian because of the fact of the history of the church. Maybe, but you got to differentiate the church as the organizational body and the message of the truth. Yeah, of Akua. You got to differentiate. And so when we're looking at love, that's the universal teaching. That's the universal principle. But people in the world, if they don't live love truly, they cannot preach the message. Right. Or maybe they preach the message because it's their duty, but behind closed doors, they're not living them. Right? And so I always tell my brother, I would rather be as the Christ than be a follower. Walk as the kingdom.
Right.
Walk in heaven. And that space is a space of abundance, a space of peace, a place that anything you touch is going to amplify.
Right. A place of personal responsibility.
Yeah, the kuleana.
Right.
Yeah, personal responsibility, accountability, discipline.
Correct.
The fruits of the Spirit. Right?
Yes.
These are fruits of the Spirit. So be a fruity, baby. But not too fruity, my Fruit Loops. Yeah. But to live aloha and how that looks in our work in Awakened Aloha is our three principles, which was explained in my introduction, which is Aloha ʻāina.
Okay.
First, to have a love for your place, a love for your land. We live in the quote-unquote, yes, the occupied Hawaii, U.S., but the U.S. empire is an empire of immigrants. So a majority of the United States, the people living in the U.S., they're not living in their ancestral homeland. So they are void of connection to their ʻāina kupuna. We as Kanaka, how blessed are we to still live into our homeland? Yeah, so blessed. Even though our people are getting displaced, like, look at this peace, love, and connection we can still have to ʻāina. Then there's Aloha Akua, having connection to Akua, spirit, whatever you call God. The old quote says, the paths are many, the truth is one. Yeah, the names are many, the source is one. Right. So you got to overcome the labels and to connect to our Aumakua, the spiritual protections and guardians, and then Aloha Kanaka, which is a love for each other, love one another. But that's a tricky one because if you don't love yourself, you can only give what you get. So if you don't love yourself, you cannot pour into another cup.
It's very hard to do.
You get empty glass. You go, about it. Here you go, Kanaka. Hawaiian, what you pouring in air?
Yeah. That's right. Hard for love when you cannot love yourself.
Yeah, no can.
Cannot. That's why it's very difficult. And like again, we're talking about your niche, right? The things that you like really spot on, massage, made good. Because at the end of the day, that's all you want to do is. Just want to do good. I've never met anybody like
wants to do bad intentionally.
Yes. I've never met anybody like I'm going to start on social media so that I can just tell everybody how much I hate them.
Well, you'd be surprised.
I know, but you know what I mean. I see more, or I get introduced to more of you guys than anything else. I know they exist. But to start something like that, it's almost insane. Think about that.
It's also because of who you are, Augie, yeah? Like we, birds of a feather flock together, they say, and so if we live in a certain way and our perception is a specific space and lens, then we begin to only attract those people that is like us, Wayne. We don't attract the other people.
Yes.
Yeah? When all this stuff on social media has been happening and all my good brothers reaching out to see if I good, I go, my brothers, I was raised with the mentality that as when pit bulls, they don't get bothered by the barking chihuahuas behind the fence.
Right.
We just walk, Hawaii.
Just keep walking.
Because we know who we are, Hawaii.
Yeah.
Pit bull action. And I only grew up with pit bulls, Hawaii.
All right.
Ankle biters. Ankle biters.
Ankle biters.
Yep.
biters.
All right.
Yep.
So your Instagram handle so that people, or website, Mark,
Me
if you want
Hawaii.
people to check you out,
Yep,
your
at Me
format,
Hawaii.
because you are running for office. I saw you made a post, so you want to go ahead and
Oh, yeah, you can find me on marktalei.com.
there you go.
Yeah.
See how simple that was?
Easy.
Okay.
But
Elijah?
Mark, you
Right,
also
right.
help with another Instagram, right? From this, do you want to share that
In
address?
the Loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, In the Loop Hawaii. You can find it on Instagram. It's pretty much just keeping everybody in the loop.
About about the state senate.
What goes on,
Yeah.
with lawmaking.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My guy. Yes, right now on TikTok and Instagram at SON of Oahu. And if you go onto Google and just put Awakened, that is Awakened with an ED, Aloha, you will get all of our information there. We are starting YouTube in about 1 month, and so I'm putting together our whole plan for long form content. We'll be having a podcast on current events of Hawaii and like in the field series with kumus, practitioners, experts, and just every aspect to uplift and to elevate Hawaii, and to uplift and elevate the world. So
Awesome.
it's happening.
We have we have this program for a year, so maybe, towards the end of the year, we have you guys back again.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh, yeah.
add another social media content person.
I'd
then,
love that.
That'd be awesome. Malia, next week, Crime Stoppers.
Crime Stoppers, yes, it's going to be a great show.
Thank you again for producing a great show. Thank you, Chaz.
Yes,
for
brother Chaz.
screwing me
Thanks,
up when I
Chaz.
look at you in the morning.
Yes.
All right. It's the right side of Common Sense Conversation. We will see you guys next week. Aloha.
Ahui ho.
And